Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Evacuation orders have been issued because of a vegetation fire that's spreading at a dangerous rate in Ramona. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi, and it's being called the Creelman Fire, and it began just after 3 p.m. southeast of the city. You're seeing pictures here of the fire from earlier from Mount Woodson. There are structures threatened in this area. As of 4:30 this afternoon, the fire has burned 315 acres and continues to burn at a dangerous rate of spread at this hour. CAL FIRE San Diego says it's impacting the community of San Diego Country Estates. A temporary evacuation point has been set up at Ramona High School. Large animals can also be evacuated to Ramona Rodeo. There are road closures at Vista Ramona Road, at Old Julian Highway, and San Vicente Road at Wildcat Canyon Road. The public should continue to monitor the CAL FIRE San Diego social media channels and the website for updates. Meanwhile, crews are getting a handle on another brush fire burning near Rainbow Crest Road and Pala. CAL FIRE says that they stopped the forward rate of spread at 35 acres. The fire is 5% contained at this time. Evacuation orders have been reduced to warnings. About 10 homes have been threatened.
Overnight lows getting down into the upper 60s with a few clouds out there. Now, if you think it's been warm recently, it's about to get warmer, at least for some of us. High pressure is really in control, not just the rest of this week, but even into next week. And there's a chance it's even stronger high pressure, which means we could really see temperatures rise. I'll break down what to expect, though, coming up.
Good news for pop culture enthusiasts and San Diego's economy. Comic-Con will remain in San Diego through 2030. Mayor Todd Gloria made the announcement this morning during the official kickoff to the massive pop culture event. KPBS reporter Alexander Wynn is joining us live from downtown as preview night gets underway. Alex, what can you tell us?
That's right, Maya. Behind me, fans are heading to the convention center for preview night, hoping to get their hands on those exclusive merchandise. Now, I talked to one fan earlier today, and he is excited that Comic-Con is staying in town for the next 4 years. Long before the convention center opens today, these fans are already in line. Some are reading, while others are forming their attack plan. Like Andrew Cisneros, who is waiting for the doors to open for Comic-Con preview night. A Fresno resident has been coming to Comic-Con for 10 years. He says waiting in line to be among the first through the doors is part of the fun.
Time is money, right? You want to get in there, you want to get what you want, and then on these nights like Wednesdays, if you can get it all out of the way, you're free for the rest of the week.
And what the city has to offer is Comic-Con staying in town through 2030. Cisneros is excited about that.
Who doesn't love coming down here, spending the week down here and walking around and doing everything San Diego has to offer?
San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria made the announcement this morning during the official kickoff to Comic-Con. He was joined by Comic-Con, tourism, and convention center officials.
And I'm thrilled by today's news that we get to do this for many more years to come.
Comic-Con staying in San Diego is not just a big deal for fans, it's also a big deal for the local economy. 14,000 hotel rooms are booked for this weekend alone, and the city is expected to collect more than $3 million in hotel taxes.
Transient occupancy tax, which is a really important source of revenue for the city.
Now, part of the deal announced today for Comic-Con staying in town is that the hotels could set up affordable room rates block for Comic-Con attendees. Now, preview night is underway right now, and tomorrow we'll take you inside the convention hall for some of the exciting things happening there. Live in downtown San Diego, Alexander Wynn, KPBS News. Maya?
Alex, before you go, every year there is buzz about something different and exciting. So what is one of the greatest draws this year?
Well, Maya, the greatest draw this year is that Marvel is returning to Hall H with Avengers Doomsday. Some of the stars will be there. And also K-pop is everywhere at Comic-Con this year. There's some activations. There's also a concert, and the band Hyphen will also be performing here. Maya?
Thanks so much for that, Alex. And here's more on that agreement with the city to extend Comic-Con's presence in San Diego. Mayor Todd Gloria says Comic-Con belongs in San Diego, and today's announcement ensures this incredible tradition will continue here through 2030. This agreement is the result of years of partnership and reflects our shared commitment to the fans, creators, and businesses and workers who make Comic-Con unlike anything else in the world. And our Comic-Con coverage will include a live episode of KPBS Midday Edition from the Convention Center. Jade Heinman will host with plenty of Comic-Con related guests. Midday Edition airs at noon on KPBS FM. You can also stream it live on the KPBS app and at kpbs.org, and later as a podcast. A bit later, we'll have a portion of our Comic-Con preview live stream we did this week with Beth Accomando, so stay tuned for that. A new report from San Diego Unified is highlighting something many parents worry about: getting their kids to school safely. The results revealed 107 safety requests at schools across all 9 city council districts. The concerns include speeding, unsafe crosswalks, lack of signage, and pedestrian infrastructure. It comes almost a year after a 12-year-old boy was killed while walking in San Carlos. The city has since added stop signs, but there's a new spotlight on the need for more traffic safety at schools across all districts.
We really believe that principals know their communities the best. They're there on a day-to-day basis, and so that's why we went to them and asked them, what are the conditions around your school that you feel could be improved that are adversely contributing to traffic safety?
And as students head back to class in just a few weeks, district leaders say they've met with city leaders to push for these changes. While district leaders say some projects are moving forward, others may take some more time. Yesterday, the Chula Vista City Council abandoned a sweeping effort to overhaul the city's government. South Bay reporter Corey Suzuki says council members faced forceful pushback, including from the city's own Board of Ethics.
The proposed amendments to the city's charter would have given big raises to the 5-member city council, increasing their salaries from $65,000 to $110,000 per year. It also would have made them eligible to run for a 3rd term, along with the city attorney. The amendment combined those changes with several government transparency measures, like stricter disclosure rules for public contractors. But that combination didn't sit well with many residents and the city's own Board of Ethics.
In the board's view, this process is inconsistent with the degree of public participation and institutional review that should accompany a comprehensive charter amendment.
That's Board of Ethics Chair Bobby Ray Salas speaking at Tuesday's City Council meeting. He said the council was moving too quickly on major changes that could reshape Chula Vista for years.
Combining the proposed reforms together as one may impair the electorate ability to make a clear, informed decision on each independent policy question.
Backing the amendment was a local labor union who said they wanted to professionalize the city government. Chula Vista Mayor John McCann joined critics in forcefully opposing the amendment. He pointed out that the city didn't hold any outside public meetings about the measure and didn't send it to the Charter Review Commission for analysis.
There was no meaningful community outreach. The Charter Review, again, the very group created to review charter changes, did not have the opportunity to do its job.
Ultimately, the City Council voted 4-1 to cancel the entire proposal and send it to the Charter Review Commission and scrap the pay raises entirely. Corey Suzuki, KPBS News.
Lemon Grove City Council on Tuesday approved a permanent tenant protections ordinance. KPBS East County reporter Elaine Alfaro says council members came to a consensus despite past divisions.
Among other things, the new ordinance clearly defines when a landlord can issue evictions for what's known as a substantial remodel. Mayor Allison Snow says that definition is necessary because of gaps in state law, which she says lets corporate landlords evict tenants, make renovations, and increase the rent.
This is so much more cost-effective approach is to go ahead and just say, we're going to make the rules tighter, to tighten up those loopholes, to make it difficult for people to mess with our community. And so this is one of the ways that we can do it.
Councilmember Yadira Altamirano was the sole dissenting vote. She wants to stick with laws already on the books.
My concerns is that additional tenant protection ordinances will eliminate organically affordable housing. There's a lot of that here in Lemon Grove.
The council first considered a permanent ordinance in February, but they didn't have the votes to pass it. So they passed a temporary ordinance and began soliciting community feedback. The majority of public speakers at last night's meeting spoke in favor of the ordinance. Among them was Victoria Couch.
To me, it just feels very obvious that our city council has a duty to enact local ordinances that address this loophole. In terms of the council decision, I am glad that we now have a permanent ordinance in place to address this loophole.
Another provision in the ordinance requires that landlords provide notices to renters about state and local tenant protections. A final vote on the ordinance is scheduled for August 21st. Elaine Alfaro, KPBS News.
The grocery haul is smaller. The supermarket tab is not. Squeezed consumers are putting fewer items in their baskets, and a new analysis says that adds up to a supermarket slowdown. Karen Kefa is in Washington with what households need to know.
Grocery carts are getting lighter.
Grocery stores have started to realize that they're seeing drops in their sales and their unit sales. And so I think they're really finally realizing that they need to do something different.
An analysis by Bain & Company points to a nearly 2% drop in grocery unit sales over the last year. Bain says higher prices are one reason, a trend that food industry analyst Phil Lempert doesn't expect to reverse soon.
We've got climate change that's affecting our growing conditions. We've got the tariffs. We've got the war in Iran that's affecting fertilizer and diesel fuel.
Households are also grappling with higher gas prices, and Bain says there's been a drop-off in households receiving federal food benefits. Jadrian Wooten, professor of economics at Virginia Tech, says consumers have been quietly making more choices in the grocery aisles.
It's trying to figure out where can you make those substitutions to absorb the price increases in other places.
Meanwhile, major retailers like Walmart, Kroger, and Giant Eagle have made summer price cuts on select items to entice shoppers.
Consumers are going to start seeing more of that, where grocery stores are starting to actually think more carefully about how do they increase sales. And so they might actually be seeing discounts on store brands, more active coupons.
Lempert says net profit for grocers is already so small it doesn't leave room to cut prices across the board. In Washington, I'm Karen Kefa.
It began as part of the Uptown Community Plan back in 1988. Now, 38 years later, what has turned into the Pride Promenade in Hillcrest is just months away from being finished. KPBS reporter John Carroll went on a media preview tour on Tuesday and has an update on how this complicated project is coming together.
Looking at the stretch of Normal Street between University and Lincoln Avenues today still requires a bit of imagination for what this stretch will look like when complete. Construction finally began in February of 2025 on the Pride Promenade after some tough questions were answered.
How do you build a public space with no land, no money, right? You've got a lot of will.
That's Hillcrest Business Association Executive Director Ben Nichols before a media preview tour of the site. He says the will to get the promenade done led to a unique private-public partnership, bringing the city, Sandag, and the Hillcrest business community together to fund this nearly $30 million project.
So the community and the city have sort of cobbled together this patchwork that actually brings a whole host of interests together that solve a lot of problems.
Some problems were discovered after construction began, like aging infrastructure underground.
If you've driven through Hillcrest any time over the last year or so, you know it is construction central down here. Crews are right now replacing old storm drains under University Avenue while work continues on the Pride Promenade. But what you might not know is that that project and this one are essentially one and the same.
The area around the intersection of University and Normal was infamous for flooding when it rained. That was in part due to storm drains that didn't connect. When all of this is finished, project backers say that won't happen anymore.
People will say, yeah, the construction's a headache, but we've got this beautiful thing coming. So people see the light at the end of the tunnel, they see what's coming and they're excited about it.
What's coming? A bike lane painted in Pride rainbow colors that will link existing bike lanes on University to lanes on Howard Street. More trees have gone in. There are shade structures, new lighting, sound systems throughout the promenade, a children's playground. All in all, what Nichols calls a welcoming space for the neighborhood and anyone who wants the Hillcrest vibe.
It's kind of like if you were to take the essence of Hillcrest, what is Hillcrest, and distill it into a public plaza. This is my space. I feel safe here. I feel comfortable here. I feel energized to be here. That's what we're trying to create, that energy and the tone when you come here.
The officials on this tour admit the project is behind its original schedule, but they say that energy and that tone will be available to the public when the Pride Promenade is complete by the end of the year. The pipe replacement around it, not scheduled to be finished until the end of 2027. John Carroll, KPBS News.
Comic-Con Preview Night is underway at the Convention Center. Earlier this week, arts reporter Beth Accomando and digital producer Leslie Gonzalez talked about all things Comic-Con on our new KPBS Arts YouTube channel. Here's a portion of that.
I'm wearing my Ripley flight suit because there is going to be an Aliens 40th anniversary panel, so that's something that could be fun to check out. I'm not sure how popular that would be. That's another thing, like trying to go to panels is trying to anticipate how popular something is.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, we all know Marvel's going to be huge, and if you want to go to that,
Marvel
is returning. You're going to have to probably deal with the Hall H line from the day before. And I highly recommend, if this is something you want to do, like, here's the thing, Comic-Con is whatever you want to make it.
Of course.
And like, if you want to be in Hall H for the Marvel panel, and that is the only thing that's going to make you happy, then you just need to dedicate yourself to that so you're not disappointed. And you need to look at the Comic-Con website. They have tips and policies for Hall H. There's wristbanding, there's places to line up, places not to line up, rules about, like, you can't put camping gear up, you can't walk away from it. But there's also online groups, which can be a lifesaver. Getting an online group, sometimes it can just be you and 5 people. Sometimes it's like 100 people. But make it a point of figuring out, approach it like a military strategy, figure out how to do it, and get it done. And then you can enjoy it. And if that's not what you want to do, then just chill back, take it like the dude, and go to whatever panel you walk by that looks interesting.
That's like your opinion, man. But I think Hall H, if we're talking about Hall H,
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to, I think they're doing the Avatar.
Oh, yeah.
And
Mhm.
I'm super excited because I grew up watching the Avatar.
And be clear which Avatar we're
Sorry,
talking
not
about.
the blue people. We're
Yes.
talking about the airbending. We're
The
talking
good one.
Yes, the good one. The beautiful story arc that is
Yes.
the Avatar, the last airbender with the best villain redemption arc possible. Anyway, I can
Yes.
nerd about that later. But no, that's the beauty about just participating in such huge iconic, I think, just media and entertainment in general. But aside from Hall H, I think I'm also a book nerd. That's no secret, actually. I love anything sci-fi, fantasy, and fiction. If it's fun, I'll read it. I actually looking forward to seeing all the world building panels that they're going to be doing. You can also be a participant in watching people who pitch their portfolios, or even how to even create your own worlds and your own stories. There's also one called Girls Desserts, where I think Callie Hart, who wrote that famous Quicksilver book, is going to be there. So if you're into romantasy, they're going to be there. If you like comedy like I do with lit RPGs, Matt Dinneman is going to be there talking about humor and
Oh,
adventure.
you've been talking about him.
Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm so hoping to get an interview with him during Comic-Con. I'm on book 7. No spoilers, please. But other than that, it's been pretty good so far in terms of like what to anticipate for Comic-Con this
Well, and
year.
you mentioned portfolio, and I just want to remind people, you can get your portfolio reviewed by professionals. People get hired off the floor.
Disney and Pixar and all sorts of other big names. I'm
It's
just saying.
Well, high pressure is dominating the rest of this week, which means even our lows could even challenge records for some spots as we head towards the end of the week. Records for how warm the low is, not for how low the low is. That gets confusing sometimes. But if you think this week is bad, well, high pressure next week could be even stronger. Yeah, there's that chance. So Let's break down what to expect with the numbers. Borrego Springs overnight tonight, pushing 80, 65 in Mount Laguna. We're in the upper 60s from Oceanside through San Diego down to Chula Vista. So what does that mean for our temperatures tomorrow? Well, for Borrego Springs, let me tell you, it is dangerous hot. Anything above 110 is always going to be dangerous heat. A few thunderstorms or even just some rain possible around the mountain regions, so keep that in mind. Just a sprinkle or two, but still don't want you to be caught off guard. Plenty of sunshine elsewhere. We're pushing 100 in Ramona, in the 80s, or 79 if you're in Chula Vista along the coast there. So a look at the potential rain that we're going to see starting to work its way in. A few clouds at times. Like I said, a few sprinkles, not even necessarily showing up on this specific radar model, but just be prepared. Don't want you to be caught off guard if we do end up with a shower or two. But for most of us, we don't even necessarily have the clouds or the humidity that we've had at times because of that monsoonal moisture. That's the high pressure really dominating things. So taking a look at the next 5 days here along the coast, not too much change because, you know, we're moderate along the coast. Further inland, well, we're in the 90s to end off the week. We do drop down a couple degrees at least to start next week. So enjoy the 88 compared to the 92. As we head into our mountain regions, there's that thunderstorm risk. Once again, temperature wise, we're staying in the low 80s. Sunday, we cool down a bit, but then we start warming right back up by the time we get to Monday. Into our desert regions, well, 110 and above to end off the week. As we head into next week, we cool down a little bit, but keep in mind, there is that high pressure that could mean we end up with numbers going right back up by the time we get to the middle and late parts of next week. For KPBS News, I'm AccuWeather's Anna Azalian.
Local author and naturalist Richard Louv has spent his career writing about nature and what happens to our lives without it. KPBS arts reporter and host of the Finest podcast, Julia Dixon Evans, hiked with Louv and Julian to learn how he encourages a deeper relationship with the outdoors.
Richard Louv is in his 70s, but when he's hiking,
I'm kind of like walking with a 2-year-old. It's really stopping and looking at the detail.
Louv is the author of the 2005 book, Last Child in the Woods, Saving Our Children from Nature Deficit Disorder. His latest book, Noticing, just came out. Louv wants people to notice more deeply. To do that, he recommends spending time outside.
Deep noticing basically is, complete awareness of where you're at and looking for things in nature and then being mindful about where you are.
Louv has dedicated his life to writing about the importance of connecting with nature at any age and points to research that suggests it's universally good for our health.
They found in every culture, in every country they looked at, they found the same thing, is that people feel better when they go outside.
One 2023 study found that among young people, a brief walk outside produced greater cognitive benefits than taking the same walk on a treadmill. Researchers saw improvements in neural responses involved in memory, attention, reaction times, and impulse control.
We've got 30, 50, some scientists say as many as 100 senses that we don't even know we're using most of the time. But we're far more sensitized to what's around us in the natural world than we usually think we are.
Louv says screens limit our sensory experience, relying mostly on sight and sound.
What are we doing? We're putting kids in schools sitting in front of computer screens and basically asking them to push away as many of those 30 or 40 senses as they can so they can limit it down to a couple senses. That to me is the definition of being less alive.
Louv sees deep, practiced noticing as an alternative. And one suggestion he offers is finding what he calls a sit spot.
You find a place and you return to it.
Or, he says, go back to your roots, way back.
I think pretend they're a 4-year-old. And when you go for a walk, stop as much as a 4-year-old does. Drives parents nuts. But if you stop, you'll see something in that grass. You'll see something crawling in the dirt. You'll see mountain lion scat you wouldn't have seen if you hadn't stopped.
If Louv's earlier work was a warning that children's relationships with nature could disappear, his new book is about what happens when adults, even 70-somethings, play in the dirt again.
You know, as kids, we noticed, many of us, not all of us, but some of this is rediscovering the joy that you had when you were a kid out in the field or in the woods or climbing a tree, as I did often, and looking at the life in the grooves of the bark, you know, the transparent little spiders or aphids. All of that stuff a child takes in much more easily than adults. But the child really starts out that way, and then we lose that, many of us. But it's not gone. It's still in us. Part of the reason I wanted to write this book is to focus on that. But I remembered the joy that I felt as a kid doing what I just described. I wanted to feel that joy again.
Julia Dixon-Evans, KPBS News.
And you can find our longer interview with Richard Louv in a recent episode of The Finest, wherever you get your podcasts, and also find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Good night.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.